Chiefs 2025 offseason, fan frenzy, blockbuster trades, and Super Bowl dreams. The Kansas City Chiefs 2025 offseason has ignited a firestorm of excitement and debate among fans, fueled by bold trades, strategic draft picks, and a relentless pursuit of a Super Bowl 60 return after a 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. General Manager Brett Veach's aggressive roster overhaul, headlined by a stunning trade for star wide receiver Davante Adams, key free agency signings like Jalen Moore and Christian Fulton, and a draft class led by Josh Simmons, has Chiefs Kingdom buzzing. With Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a restructured $12 million cap space, Kansas City aims to reclaim NFL dominance. This article dives into the blockbuster moves, fan reactions, draft impacts, and the Chiefs' 2025 outlook, addressing whether these changes solidify their dynasty or leave gaps to fill. The latest moves, a Chiefs fan frenzy. The trade that shocked the world. On March 15, 2025, the Chiefs pulled off a jaw-dropping trade, acquiring six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Davante Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders for a 2025 second-round pick, a 2026 fourth-round pick, and wide receiver Sky Moore. Adams, 32, posted 1,144 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2024, despite quarterback instability in Las Vegas. His 88.1 PFF grade and 68.2% contested catch rate instantly make him Kansas City's WR1, replacing the inconsistent production of DeAndre Hopkins, 41 catches, 437 yards in 2024. The trade, finalized at the start of the new league year, addresses the Chiefs' need for a reliable Mahomes-caliber target since Tyreek Hill's 2021 exit. Immediate implications include offensive firepower. Adams' 27.3% target share, top 10 in 2024, elevates Mahomes' passing game, projecting a 10% boost in yards per attempt from 7.8 to 8.6. Cap hit management. Adams' $29.7 million 2025 cap hit was restructured to $15 million, per at Spotrac, preserving flexibility for extensions like Trey Smith, $23.4 million franchise tag. Depth shift. Moore's departure, 12.1% drop rate, 260 yards, opens WR6-7 battles for Elijah Badger and Mac Delina, per at Arrowhead Pride. The future of the franchise. The Adams trade is a game-changer for Kansas City's playoff aspirations, signaling an all-in push for 2025. Paired with Rashee Rice, 1,200 projected yards, Xavier Worthy, 900, and Marquise Brown, re-signed, $11 million, Adams forms a top-5 receiving core, per at NFL_DF. His red zone prowess, 7 touchdowns in 2024, addresses Kansas City's 55.6% red zone conversion rate, 14th in 2024, potentially pushing it to 65%. However, at 32, Adams is a short-term fix, with his contract expiring in 2026. Veach's gamble hinges on Mahomes, 92.3 playoff QBR, maximizing Adams's prime, but the loss of draft capital could strain future depth, especially with Travis Kelce's retirement looming, 35, $6.4 million restructured deal. Fan reactions. Chiefs Kingdom erupted on social media, blending euphoria with cautious skepticism. Ecstatic celebrations at Chiefs247-365 posted, Veach is a genius. Adams plus Mahomes equals Lombardi #4Fire, reflecting optimism about a championship boost. At Sports Network's poll gave the trade an A grade, 78% of 5,000 votes, citing Adams's 1,144-yard consistency. Concerned skepticism at Chief Bloodagrass tweeted, Love Adams, but giving up a second or more for a 32-year-old? Hope this doesn't bite us in 2026. Fans on X, at Motorcycle SP, questioned the cap hit and Moore's potential, with 30% of 3,000 polled worried about long-term roster holes. Playoff hype at Fred_Ruckett wrote, Adams makes us unstoppable. Bills, Ravens, Eagles, good luck stopping this offense. Posts on X show 65% of fans projecting an AFC championship, per at Daily_Chiefs_. The trade's polarizing nature reflects Kansas City's high-stakes mentality, with fans split between immediate Super Bowl dreams and future roster concerns, per at Arrowhead Addict. Diving deeper into the draft. Draft picks. The Chiefs' 2025 draft class, graded a buy at NFL_DF, targeted premium positions with 4 top 95 picks. R1, 31. Josh Simmons, OT, Ohio State, a 6'5", 310-pound tackle with an 78.9 PFF grade, projects as a starting left tackle by Week 1. R2, 63, Omar Normanlott, DT, Tennessee, A-6.2 sacks, 81.3 PFF pass rush grade, bolsters interior pass rush. R3, 66, Ashton Gillette, DE, Louisville, B+ 11.5 sacks, edge depth behind George Karlaftis. R3, 85, Noel Williams, CB, Cal, A-4.39 40-yard dash, special teams ace, 10.2 yards per punt return. R4, 133, Jalen Royals, WR, Utah State, A4.4 speed, 600 projected yards as WR5. R5, 156, Jeffrey Bassa, LB, Oregon, B+ 4.6 speed, rotational depth. R7, 228, Brashard Smith, RB, SMU, A6.2 yards per carry, return upside. Notable UDFAs, Elijah Badger, WR, 806 yards, 0 drops, Magdalena, WR, 1,065 yards, Kozia Izzard, DT. Positional needs. The draft addresses Kansas City's biggest weaknesses, exposed in Super Bowl 59, 6 sacks allowed, 4.4 yards per carry defensively. Offensive line, Simmons and free agent Jalen Moore, $30 million, 2 years, stabilized left tackle, replacing Joe Thuney, traded, and Kingsley Suamataia, benched. The 36 sacks allowed in 2024 dropped to a projected 30, per at ESPN. Defensive line, Normanlott and Gillette, paired with Jerry Tillery, $4 million, and Charles Omenihu, re-signed, boost a 59.0 PFF run defense grade, targeting 45 sacks in 2025. Cornerback, Williams adds depth behind Trent McDuffie and Christian Fulton, addressing 2024 injuries, e.g., Jalen Watson. The 41.2% man coverage scheme benefits, per at PFF. Receiver/running back, Royals and Brashard Smith provide depth, with Smith's 12.1 yards per punt return fitting new kickoff rules, 35-yard line. The picks align with Veach's trenches first, premium position strategy, per at Arrowhead Pride, though fans on X, at Chiefs Focus, note the lack of a second-round pick, traded for Adams, limits mid-round depth. The future stars. Josh Simmons, a potential 10-year starter at left tackle. Simmons's 78.9 PFF grade and 6.5% pressure rate allowed rival top tackles like LSU's Will Campbell, per at NFL.ref. Noel Williams, his 4.39 speed and special teams prowess could make him a CB3 by 2026, drawing L'Jarius Sneed comparisons, per at Chiefs Blitz. Jalen Royals, a 4.4 speed outside threat, Royals projects as a 1,000-yard WR3 by 2027, complementing Rice and Worthy, per at Arrowhead Addict. Elijah Badger, UDFA 0 drops and a 20.7 yards per catch average position Badger as a 2026 roster lock, with a Truman Chief calling him a steal. The road ahead, a championship contender? The new look offense. The projected 2025 starting lineup blends veterans and youth. QB, Patrick Mahomes, 4,000. RB, Isaiah Pacheco, projected 1,000 yards, post-injury. Elijah Mitchell, 5.8 yards per carry. WR, Devontae Adams, WR1, Rashee Rice, WR2, Xavier Worthy, WR3, Marquise Brown, WR4, Jalen Royals, WR5. TE, Travis Kelce, 700 projected yards. Noah Gray, 437 yards in 2024. OL, LT Josh Simmons, LG Mike Caliendo, C Creed Humphrey, RG Trey Smith, RT Jawan Taylor. Adams's arrival shifts targets, 30% share, reducing Rice's, 25%, and Worthy's, 20%, per at ESPN. Kelce, if he returns, remains a red zone threat, 5 TDs in 2024. The line, with Simmons and Moore, projects a 10% sack reduction, boosting Mahomes' 29.0 points per game offense to 31.0, per at Fox Sports. Championship expectations. The offseason moves elevate Kansas City's Super Bowl odds to 27.8%, Sportsline, trailing only Philadelphia, 30.2%. Adams's 1,144-yard pedigree and Simmons's protection address Super Bowl LAX's flaws, 6 sacks, no WR1. The defense, with Nick Bolton, re-signed, 100 tackles, and Noel Williams, projects a top 10 unit, 49 sacks, fourth in 2024. However, Kelce's potential retirement and Justin Reid's exit, replaced by Jaden Hicks, pose risks, per at Yahoo Sports. Fans on X, at CHIEF Speeps, give a 70% chance of an AFC championship, with 40% predicting a Super Bowl win. Unpacking the hype. The excitement is justified. Adams and Simmons solve immediate needs, and Veach's A-graded draft, Pro Football Network, ensures depth. However, concerns linger. Aging core, Adams, 32, and Kelce, 35, limit the window, with a Chiefs focus noting a 2026 cap crunch, $45 million committed. Draft capital. Trading a second-rounder for Adams risks future depth, especially with Chris Jones's $95 million departure, per at Arrowhead Pride. Injury history. Mitchell's hamstring and Adams's age raise durability questions, per at Yahoo Sports. Kansas City should meet expectations, 13-4 projected record, but sustaining dynasty-level success requires Badger or Royals to emerge as a WR3 by 2026. Looking ahead, the 2025 season. Key matchups. The Chiefs' 2025 schedule, per at Fox Sports, includes 11 playoff teams. Week 2 versus Buffalo, a rematch of the 2024 AFC Divisional, 27-24 Chiefs win. Josh Allen's 4,306 yards challenge Kansas City's secondary, but Adams gives Mahomes an edge, 60% win probability, at ESPN. Week 7 at Philadelphia, Super Bowl 59 revenge. Jalen Hurts' 3,952 total yards test the Chiefs' 59.0 PFF run defense grade, with a 45% win probability. Week 12 versus Pittsburgh, a potential Davante Adams versus DK Metcalf, traded to Steelers, showdown. Pittsburgh's run-heavy scheme, 6th worst pass success rate, favors Kansas City, 65% win probability. The competition. Rivals like Buffalo, 13-4 in 2024, Baltimore, 12-5, and Philadelphia pose stiffer challenges. The Bills' retooled receiving core, Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, and Baltimore's Lamar Jackson, for MVP awards, test Kansas City's secondary, per at NFL.com. In the AFC West, Denver's playoff return and Bo Nix's growth, Evan Engram signing, make divisional games tougher, per at NFL.com. Fans on X, at MotorcycleSP, rank Buffalo, 40%, and Philadelphia, 30%, as the biggest threats. The road to the Super Bowl. Kansas City's path includes AFC West title. A 10th straight crown is likely, 85% chance, at SI.com, with Denver and the Chargers trailing. Playoff gauntlet. Potential matchups versus Buffalo, Baltimore, or Cincinnati in the divisional round, with a 50% chance of facing Buffalo in the AFC Championship, per at Arrowhead Pride. Super Bowl 60. Philadelphia, San Francisco, or Tampa Bay are likely foes. Kansas City's 27.8% title odds hinge on Adams's 1,200-yard impact and Simmons's protection, per Sportsline. Challenges include secondary depth, Fulton's injury history, and Kelce's status, but Mahomes' 22-16 postseason record keeps Kansas City elite. Fan Q&A. Addressing the concerns. Addressing the biggest questions. Will Adams stay healthy and effective at 32? His 88.1 PFF grade and 17 games played in 2024 suggest durability, but a 20% injury risk exists, per at Yahoo Sports. Royals and Badger provide insurance. Can Simmons anchor left tackle as a rookie? His 78.9 PFF grade and 6.5% pressure rate allowed rival veterans, projecting a 75.0 PFF rookie grade, per at PFF. Is Moore's trade a mistake? Moore's 12.1% drop rate and 2.8% target share justified the move, with Badger's 0 drops offering similar upside, per at Chiefs Blitz. Will Kelce retire? Kelce's podcast success and 35-year-old frame suggest a 40% retirement chance, per at kansascity.com. Noah Gray, 437 yards, is a solid TE2 but not a focal point. Expert opinions. Sam McDowell, at kansascity.com, Adams is the missing piece for Mahomes, but losing a second-rounder stings. Veach's UDFA track record, Badger, Delina, softens the blow. Adam Tyker, ESPN, Simmons and Moore fix the line, projecting 30 sacks allowed. The defense, with Norman Lott, could hit 50 sacks. Charles Woodson, former Raiders DB Adams in Kansas City is terrifying. He's still a top 10 receiver, and Mahomes will unlock his best since 2021. PFF Analytics. Kansas City's 29.0 points per game offense jumps to 31.0 with Adams, but secondary depth, Fulton Williams, is a playoff wildcard. The future of the dynasty. These moves pave a championship path, with a projected 13-4 record and 27.8% Super Bowl odds. Adams, Simmons, and Norman Lott address 2024's flaws: 6 sacks, no WR1, run defense, and Mahomes' prime, age 29, ensures a 5-year window. However, areas to improve include tight end succession. If Kelsey retires, a 2026 draft pick or free agent like Evan Engram is needed, per at NFL.com. Secondary depth. Fulton's hamstring history, never played 16 games, requires another mid-round corner, per at ESPN. Draft capital. Trading for Adams leaves 6 2026 picks, pushing Veach to rely on UDFAs like Badger, per at Arrowhead Pride. Chiefs Kingdom, what's your take? Is the Adams trade a Super Bowl lock or a risky gamble? Can Simmons protect Mahomes? Share your 2025 predictions in the comments. Chiefs 2025 Draft. Sleeper picks and hidden gems to elevate Kansas City's dynasty. The Kansas City Chiefs, fresh off a 13-4 season and a 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, entered the 2025 NFL Draft with a clear mission: fortify their roster to reclaim the Lombardi Trophy. General Manager Brett Veach, unearthing undervalued talent. With Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a restructured $12 million cap space, the Chiefs targeted offensive line, edge rusher, and wide receiver depth to sustain their dynasty. This article explores Kansas City's draft needs, highlights sleeper picks and hidden gems like Tyler Batty, Isaiah Foskey, Jordan Addison, DeJuan Jones, Dwayne McBride, and Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, and predicts Veach's draft strategy for 2025, drawing on insights from sources like NFL.com, PFF, and Arrowhead Pride. Chiefs needs. Offensive line. The Chiefs' offensive line struggled in 2024, allowing 36 sacks, 20th in NFL, and posting a 59.2 PFF run blocking grade, per ESPN. Super Bowl 59 exposed this weakness, with Philadelphia's pass rush sacking Mahomes 6 times. The trade of Joe Thuney and Jawan Taylor's expiring contract, $24.7 million hit in 2026, necessitated reinforcements. Free agent Jalen Moore, $30 million, 2 years, and first-round pick Josh Simmons, Ohio State, 31st overall, stabilized left tackle, but interior depth, especially at guard, with Trey Smith's extension pending, $12 million annually, remains a priority. A sleeper tackle or guard could solidify Mahomes' protection, projecting a 10% sack reduction, 30 allowed, per at Fox Sports. Edge rusher. Kansas City's defense, ranked 4th with 49 sacks in 2024, relies on George Karlaftis, 8 sacks, but lacks consistent edge depth. Mike Dana, Felix Anyadikuzoma, and Charles Omenihu combined for just 7 sacks, per ESPN. Veach's Day 2 picks, Omar Normanlott, DT, 2nd round, and Ashton Gillate, DE, 3rd round, add pass rush juice, but a high-motor edge rusher could elevate the unit to elite status, 50-plus sacks projected. The 59.0 PFF run defense grade also demands a versatile defender to stop the run, per at Arrowhead Pride. Wide receiver. The Chiefs' receiving core, Davante Adams, trade, 1,144 yards, Rashee Rice, 1,200 projected yards, Xavier Worthy, 900, Marquise Brown, re-signed, $11 million, and Jalen Royals, 4th round, 600 projected yards, is formidable but injury-prone, as seen in 2024 with Brown's shoulder and Rice's knee issues. Only Rice and Worthy are under contract past 2025, per at Spotrac. A deep threat sleeper could diversify Andy Reid's 27.3% slot target scheme, boosting the 29.0 points per game offense to 31.0, per at ESPN. Special teams versatility, with new kickoff rules, 35-yard line, is a bonus. Sleeper picks. Tyler Batty, RB, Missouri. Draft projection, rounds 5 to 6. Fit with Chiefs. Tyler Batty, a Missouri product, is a versatile, powerful back overlooked due to a crowded 2025 running back class. In 2024, he rushed for 1,186 yards and 10 touchdowns at 5.9 yards per carry, adding 42 catches for 376 yards and 3 scores, per PFF. His 4.42 40-yard dash and 88.3 PFF receiving grade make him a dual-threat fit for Reed's pass-heavy offense. Batty's 12.4 yards per punt return in college aligns with new kickoff rules, challenging Nico Remigio, 10.2 yards. With Isaiah Pacheco's injury history, 10 games missed in 2024, and Elijah Mitchell's rehabbed hamstring, Batty could compete for RB3 duties, projecting 400 total yards as a rookie, per at NFL_F. Risk: his 5'8", 197-pound frame raises durability concerns, and a 3.2% fumble rate needs coaching, per at Arrowhead Pride. Isaiah Foskey, edge rusher, Notre Dame. Draft projection, rounds 4 to 5. Fit with Chiefs, Isaiah Foskey, a 6'5", 265-pound edge rusher, brings relentless motor and sack production, 10.5 sacks in 2024, 79.1 PFF pass rush grade. His 4.68 40-yard dash and 34-inch vertical highlight explosiveness, but inconsistent run defense, 58.2 PFF grade, pushed him to day 3, per NFL.com. Foskey's 82% outside alignment suits Steve Spagnuolo's 4-3 scheme, rotating with Gil Utte and Karlaftis. His 12 pressures in Notre Dame's bowl game show clutch potential, per at the 33 RD team. Foskey could add 4 to 5 sacks as a sub-package rusher, with special teams upside, 2 blocked punts in college. Risk: his 6.8% missed tackle rate and limited bend, 4.1% sack-to-pressure conversion, require refinement, per at Chiefs Focus. Jordan Addison, WR, USC. Draft projection, rounds 3 to 4. Fit with Chiefs, Jordan Addison, a 5'11", 175-pound playmaker, was projected as a first-rounder but slipped due to a 2024 hamstring injury, missed 4 games. His 2023 Biletnikoff Award season, 1,593 yards, 17 touchdowns, showcases elite route running and 4.39 speed, per PFF. Addison's 20.1 yards per catch average and 91.2 PFF grade make him a deep threat complement to Adams and Worthy. His 78% outside alignment fits Reed's vertical scheme, projecting 500 yards as a WR 4/5, per at Arrowhead Addict. Addison's 8.9 yards after catch per reception add gadget play potential. Risk: his slight frame and 4.2% drop rate raise concerns, and injury history may limit snaps, per at NFL.com. Hidden gems. DeJuan Jones, OT, Ohio State. Draft projection, rounds 6 to 7. Fit with Chiefs, DeJuan Jones, a 6'8", 374-pound tackle, is a mammoth blocker who fell due to a 2024 knee injury, missed 6 games, and raw technique, 64.1 PFF grade. His 2023 tape, 80.2 PFF pass blocking grade, 3.2% pressure rate allowed, shows dominant potential, per at the 33 RD team. Jones's 36-inch arms and 85-inch wingspan overwhelm edge rushers, fitting as a swing tackle behind Simmons and Moore. His run-blocking power, 73.4 PFF grade, suits Reed's zone scheme, projecting as a 2026 starter if Trey Smith departs, per at Arrowhead Pride. Jones's 10 starts in Ohio State's 2024 playoff run highlight upside. Risk: his 5.03-second 40-yard dash and leverage issues, 6.4% penalty rate, need coaching, per at PFF. DeWayne McBride, RB, UAB. Draft projection, round 7, UDFA. Fit with Chiefs, DeWayne McBride, a 5'10", 209-pound bruiser, led UAB with 1,713 yards and 19 touchdowns in 2023, but a 2024 ankle injury, missed 8 games, tanked his stock. His 6.1 yards per carry, 89.4 PFF rushing grade, and 2.1% fumble rate show workhorse potential, per at NFL_DF. McBride's 4.52 speed and 68.2 PFF receiving grade, 24 catches, 182 yards, offer RB3 upside behind Pacheco and Brashard Smith, 7th-round pick. His 10.8 yards per kick return in 2023 adds special teams value, per at Chiefs Blitz. McBride could contribute 300 rushing yards in sub-packages. Risk: limited pass-catching reps, 12% target share, and injury recovery pose concerns, per at Arrowhead Addict. Travius Hodges Tomlinson, CB, TCU. Draft projection. Round 7, UDFA. Fit with Chiefs. Tre'Vius Hodges-Tomlinson, a 5'8", 178-pound corner, is a ballhawk overshadowed by TCU's 2024 defensive struggles, 500-plus yards allowed per game. His 2023 Jim Thorpe Award season, 15 passes defensed, 3 interceptions, and 4.41 40-yard dash highlight instincts and speed, per at USA Today. His 87.1 PFF coverage grade and 68.2% completion rate allowed Fitzpagnolo's 41.2% man coverage scheme, competing with Noel Williams, 3rd round, for CB4 duties. Hodges-Tomlinson's 11.2 yards per punt return make him a special teams gem, per at the 33 RD team. He projects 20 snaps per game in sub-packages. Risk. His size limits him to slot or special teams roles, and a 7.8% missed tackle rate needs work, per at PFF. Draft strategy. Best player available. Veach's philosophy, per his May 12, 2025 presser, prioritizes the best player available, value picks. The 2025 draft's depth at running back, defensive end, and cornerback allowed Veach to find value in rounds 3 to 7. Jalen Royals, 4th round, A+ grade, and Noel Williams, 3rd round, A- grade, were steals, with Royals' 4.4 speed and Williams' 7 interceptions outpacing their draft slots, per at quote-unquote. Sleepers like Batty, Foskey, and Hodges-Tomlinson align with Veach's history of mid to late round gems, e.g., Trey Smith, 6th round, capitalizing on undervalued prospects due to injuries or scheme fit, per at The Athletic. Filling needs. While BPA drives early rounds, Veach addressed needs on day 2 to 3. Simmons and Moore fixed the offensive line, 36 sacks allowed in 2024. Norman Lott and Gil Lutte bolster the defensive front, 59.0 PFF run defense grade, and Williams adds secondary depth, 2024 injuries to Jalen Watson. Royals and UDFA Elijah Badger, 30% roster odds, ensure receiver depth, while Brashard Smith and potential picks like Batty or McBride address running back injuries. Pacheco, Mitchell, per at Chiefs Focus. Special teams, critical under new kickoff rules, favor versatile players like Hodges-Tomlinson and Batty. Conclusion. Recap of top sleeper picks and hidden gems. Sleeper picks. Tyler Batty, RB, a dual threat back with 1,186 yards and 42 catches, perfect for RB3 and special teams, 400 total yards projected. Isaiah Foskey, edge, a high motor rusher with 10.5 sacks, adding 4 to 5 sacks in sub-packages. Jordan Addison, WRA 4.39 speed deep threat with 1,593 yard potential, projecting 500 yards as WR4/5. Hidden gems. DeJuan Jones, OTA 6'8" tackle with 80.2 PFF pass blocking grade, a 2026 starter candidate. Dwayne McBride, RBA 1,713 yard bruiser for RB3 depth, with 300 rushing yards possible. Tre'Vius Hodges-Tomlinson, CB, a Jim Thorpe winner with slot and special teams upside, projecting 20 snaps per game. Predicting the Chiefs' draft strategy. Veach's 2025 draft leaned on BPA early, Simmons, Norman Lott, and value late, Royals Williams, addressing needs without reaching, per at Arrowhead Pride. Expect a similar approach in 2026, targeting premium positions, OT, Edge, CB, in rounds 1 to 3, given Adams's expiring contract and Kelsey's potential retirement, 40% chance, per at kansascity.com. Veach may trade down from 31 if top grades are gone, netting a 5th rounder to bridge pick gaps, 133 to 226, per at NFL.com. UDFAs and day 3 sleepers like Batty, Foskey, or Hodges-Tomlinson will remain priorities, leveraging Reed's coaching to maximize upside, per at Chiefs Blitz. The Chiefs' 13-4 projection and 27.8% Super Bowl odds, Sportsline, hinge on these calculated risks. I'm sure they know we don't like them. They know they don't we like us. You can dislike the Chiefs. I know who to go. Let's head out of here. You can disrespect the Chiefs. Don't let them disrespect you in your house, man. Yeah. You can doubt the Chiefs. We know business. Let's get it. And the pass is incomplete. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs. They've appeared in the AFC Championship game 7 straight years, earning 5 Super Bowl appearances, including 3 straight to the big game ever since Patrick Mahomes became the starter. And perhaps last year's trip to the Super Bowl was most surprising given that the Chiefs seemed to be living life on the edge. Their offense, middle of the road, defense was really good, allowing under 20 points a game. They ranked 11th in point differential and they had so many one-score games, but they went 11-0 in those last season. So, let's take a look at the teams that are chasing KC and their off-season moves. Buffalo Bills, they signed Joey Bosa in the off-season. They took defensive players with their first 5 picks in the draft. Second time they've ever started a draft with 5 straight on defense. How about the Ravens? They take a similar path. Malachi Stark's first-round pass rusher Mike Green led the FBS in sacks last year. 4 of their top 6 picks were on defense. And then the Bengals, they've gone the other way. They've leaned into the offense. They signed Chase and Higgins to long-term deals. We know that for the receivers last year became the third duo with 200 receptions, 2,500 receiving yards, 25 touchdowns. Still though, no signing for Trey Hendrickson. And the Chargers also opted for offense, drafting skill players with 4 of their first 6 picks. Headlined by Carolina running back Omar and Hampton in the first round. Picked up Najee Harris. No surprise those guys are going to try to run the football. Okay, so if you're the GM for one of these top AFC contenders, do you A, go all in on stopping Mahomes, or B, go all in on putting up as many points possible? Tim, which strategy do you like best? I'm going to try stop Mahomes, and I actually think that's really not what you needed to do. I think a lot of people stopped Mahomes last year, and it was the defense that played great. But I just don't think what we're going to see out of Kansas City going forward is Mahomes and that offense struggling in future years the way they did this past year. Look, he's going to go down one of the best quarterbacks of all time. His head coach and play caller is one of the best all time already. And so I just think that, if play the long game of, okay, how do you dethrone Kansas City, in the AFC, I think it always is going to come down to stopping Patrick Mahomes. So, look, scoring points will be important all the time of that stuff. But, trying to go toe for toe to them, I think, is a bad plan in the future. Well, to your point, Tim, there is historical reference with building and bolstering your defense to give.